All right. Hi. Welcome to the call today. My name is Brooke, and I am head of Teammate to Love. Sorry. I decided I'd do my call outside today because it's just so pretty before it gets super fallish. But I kind of thought, well, maybe I'll do a call like in the middle of each month during the fall and into the winter so that you guys can see all the trees change back here because it's just so pretty. But this is my backyard in the back of my house. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about challenge groups because I've probably had maybe 4 coaches talk to me about it in the last week or 2 about how I run it. I did a call with one coach last week about how I run challenge groups and the good and bad, and I've had coaches ask to be in my challenge group, and I just added a new girl yesterday because she said, I'm in another coach's challenge group and I don't really know if I like it too much. And I said, okay, well, you can just check out ours and see how it is. So first of all, I know that we all feel self-conscious if we're doing something wrong when we have really low posting or really low engagement or even really low activity. And I, occasionally I can go months without feeling upset about it. And then all of a sudden it'll hit me like, gosh, 20 people saw my picture and nobody liked it. And I don't necessarily I don't need that affirmation. And I hope none of you need that affirmation because we're not doing it for us and we're not doing it for, we're doing it for us, but we're doing it for other people. So as long as you are thinking about that your post is there to help other people, not to boost your own fitness journey, that you are getting that off of other people, kind of like they're getting it off of you. So when you look at it like that, you should not worry about what kind of response you're getting. But also I want to mention, I've been in a challenge group. When I first joined, Kelly added me to a challenge group. And I've been in many, many over the 3 years with other coaches on Kelly's team and doing it differently. I think for the last year I've done ours, but for the first 2 years I was in, other people's challenge groups. And there is no perfect group. There is no perfect way of doing it. There's no one way of doing it. I'm pretty sure that, a lot of my coaches just kind of mimic me in a lot of ways because there's some things that I'm kind of I don't do. Like I have some no-nos just for myself because I think it's kind of tacky, and I think it's we get enough tacky on Facebook. So trying to keep it out of challenge groups is pretty much on the top of my list. And what I mean by that is I don't share things from other places, and I don't share tacky fitness type videos or articles or that kind of stuff, because I think that if you think it's going to benefit someone, it happens better on a personal level. And I don't mean recipes. I just mean, some things. And that's a couple of coaches that have come to me and said, hey, do you think I could check out your challenge group? That's what they're experiencing in their group. They're experiencing a lot of shares and a lot of extra stuff that just is really not applicable to what the group is about. So that's where I'm coming from on what I feel like challenge groups are. Is they are there we're there as a coach to keep ourselves accountable by posting in the group. We're there to help other people stay accountable and to help answer questions. So when I look at those 3 things, I feel like we're covering those bases. And we can't be responsible for how busy people are and how active people are. Because even coaches, some of our coaches that started back to work this fall, I haven't seen them in challenge groups at all. And it's okay because I know that they're still, working on their own journey, but we all miss them, and we wish that they would jump back in just because they're a big part of my life, seeing those posts. So going in this, I want everyone to know we're not doing anything wrong, because I absolutely adore my coaches' posts, and our challengers are doing fabulous and fantastic on their posts. And so I really just think we, as a as a general rule, coaches that are working so hard on their own journey and working so hard on their business, we kind of raise the bar and we raise the expectations of, well, what am I doing wrong if a lot of my challengers aren't posting? And, you know, I've asked myself sometimes, why do my coaches not post more? And where have my coaches gone? And I text them and they're still there. They're still doing their workout. I'm like, well, where are you? Like, I started my own challenge group. And I'm like, oh, I miss you in mine. and so I know that everyone does a pretty really good job. And I thought, you know, we could just maybe brainstorm some things that we can do. And I wrote down 3 ideas that I've gotten off of other coaches that we could talk about and see if it would be something that you guys would be up for doing. And if we are, then I can get participants to do it with us so that it's not just, you know, the ones on the call that are committing to it. So here are my ideas. First of all, your challengers every single month. You are able to get their email address off of their order. So when they place their order, you take their email address and you keep it stored in your address book. And you might need to make a group for it. Like if you make a group for September challenge group, you put all of those email addresses in it. And yeah, I am in nature. So if you have that email list, then when they buy their challenge pack, you already introduce them to, hey, I'm going to add you to my challenge group. And once a week, I send an email out asking for a response from you, because I know that we live busy lives. I know that we have families. I know that we might have jobs, but I would love for you to do a weekly check-in with me personally, so I can hold you accountable. How does that sound? And you can also throw in there, if you want to do a video, like a small workout video that's 15 seconds long with some moves. I mean, you can figure out how to do that on iMovie. I mean, you can do different things. Send recipes, send shake recipes. You can send some links onto the Team Beachbody Club that, you know, some articles. You could just be creative every single week of sending your challengers an email. So if you think about that, does that sound like something that you would want to do with your challengers, which would help them stay engaged with you, number one, and it would hopefully help them be, you know, want to be more involved in the challenge group because they're communicating with you. And that also takes Facebook off of, you know, the page, as far as them feeling like they have to post on Facebook. The second thing is making sure that your customers know about the Facebook groups app, so that they can check into groups very, very quickly, very easily, without having to go straight onto Facebook and search for those groups. Because when we talk about busy, we want fast. And so what keeps people sometimes from posting in challenge groups is because they have to go and then they get distracted with Facebook and they don't even want to get on. So even for me, like, I love the Facebook group app and I tell my customers about it all the time, so that it makes it easier on them, that they can just quickly post their challenge picture or their post and they can go on with their life and not necessarily have to get straight on Facebook. On the positive side of getting an email list, Chalene Johnson is all about lists. Holy moly. If you're building your business and someday you want to offer a freemium to people where you send out a free recipe, you can send out like a meal plan or recipes. If you said, all right, once a month I'm going to send out 5 new recipes, a breakfast, a dessert, a brunch, or whatever, an appetizer, and you create these recipes and you have this email list. And you can also, you know, use that email list on your Beachbody to send out advertisements and new specials and the monthly specials that we have. So that email list is money right there. So I'm going to go back to each coach posting a clean recipe once a week. So if you want to unmute yourself, we can kind of all chime into this now, because I'm about at my ideal list, because when I look at my coaches and I'm like, gosh, we all do a pretty darn good job of posting and liking other people's pictures and being accountable to those people. But taking one day a week of posting a recipe And with the way that my life is right now, I'm not necessarily saying that I'm going to create some new recipe. I just threw a whole bunch of ingredients in a pot today, didn't measure, didn't think about it because I don't care right now. And the likelihood of me getting a recipe off of Pinterest, off of the 21 Day Fix gazillion sites that you can do. And I'll honestly say, I got this, claim where you got it from so that it's not, a lie that you just created that. But be willing to give people some ideas, because I tell people over and over, you can go to Pinterest, you can go do this, and it, has all kinds of things all kinds of ideas that you can get. So what do you guys think about that? You want to unmute yourself.
About what? Posting recipes?
Yeah, about posting recipes. Like,
yeah, that's a good idea. I do Shakeology recipes too, which people love. Like I think Danielle shared the cinnamon roll Shakeology, and I've been sharing that with every group, each month or maybe a couple of times a month, and people love that one. Or like I took a picture of, like I did a collage of a 21 Day Fix recipe from Fix8 and shared that. And, a couple people bought the cookbook just because they saw me posting, recipes from the cookbook.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, I'm such a fuddy dud. I have not, Wes has made some recipes out of that book because I took him one when I went, but I have not even taken mine out of the cellophane wrap.
Well, even if I haven't made it yet, like if I just flip through and I find one that looks good and I'm like, hey, this is one, I'm going to try this week, or this one looks good to me, and I post it and share it. So, so if someone, likes it, they can make it themselves.
Take a picture, or do you write it out?
I take a picture. I take a picture of the ingredient list and directions and a picture of the food, and then I just use Moldive to put it together.
Awesome. That sounds awesome.
I love the idea of posting recipes. I think people are always looking for more things. So I think when they see somebody else making it, it encourages them and motivates them to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and we're going into the season where we love cozy, yummy things, and I think it will be a good time of year to try that, because this is.
Or you get tempted with lots of junk food, and so we can come up with alternatives.
Right.
That people need.
No, like Autumn Calabrese posted the pumpkin latte, the homemade recipe to that, and I shared that with probably 5 people that I know loves pumpkin, and they were like, thank you for this. So this is the time of year where we are so tempted with other things that are so easy to get away with because they're so available.
Yeah.
So it would be a great time of year. So I will post in our group for people to just sign up for a day. And, if we have multiple people, then we'll just get more than one recipe that day. But yeah. Oh, I'm glad you guys like that. So what do you guys think about the email, doing an email once a week to your customers?
I definitely think it's a good idea. I think it'll take me a little time to kind of figure out a system that works, but I think it's a good idea. Keep them involved. Plus, if they ever want to come back and, order a different program, or they have questions, or they want to refer someone else, it kind of keeps that communication going.
Right.
I did an email, like I do once a month, and I do the program that I'm working on, and I pasted a picture to the email, and I just told my story about my progress for the month and how it's been changing my body, and I got a good response from that, from sending it to people. Which I thought, and I just, as I send my new customers emails, I save it to my Beachbody email, and then I just email everyone off of my Beachbody list. So I go through and I click it and I send a bulk email to everybody because I use my Beachbody email.
Sure. That's awesome.
So do you send it straight from your Beachbody account?
From my Beachbody account, yes.
Okay.
Mama.
Okay, so the video that I did, I don't know when it was, a week or so ago, about talking about exactly that kind of, Jelena, about what my body was doing and how I see a lot of people doing the same workout program over and over and over. I got 3 messages from people, and I'm talking to them about changing up their program. And I think And then I've gotten 2 messages today about the performance line video I did. And I think, well, people really like videos. I made the one today really long, but I thought,
Are you posting it to your page?
no, to the challenge groups.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to challenge. And I think that, that could be another idea about you guys doing some videos here and there, maybe doing a video once a week and talking about how your week went, pros and cons of your workout program, areas that you're working on or that you're struggling with. If you try a new product or you're starting a new program, talking about that and how it's going for you. Because like this morning, I just finished my workout a few minutes before, and I was like, oh, I'm going to rewind it to the end because I love it when he like totally gets excited that we're done. And I don't know. I think being real helps people just, I don't know, relax in it and not have such high expectations for themselves. We have some really good, honest girls in our 21 Day Fix group right now, and I just love it. I absolutely love it that they're willing to say, yeah, I kind of had a bad day yesterday. Or it was my first time to have a Coke, or it was my first time to have a coffee. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that they're admitting that, because how many groups have I done? And no one ever says that. And no one ever feels comfortable saying that. So I feel like we have a good group of girls right now. And even though a lot of them are coaches, they're discount coaches, and they're still working on their own journey and doing their own thing. And so I don't discredit discount coaches doing their thing, because they are super important and they're vital to our challenge groups, honestly, because they're very committed to it. So any ideas from you guys? Jelena, you do a separate group. So anything different that you do that you think we should be doing?
I am, this week I'm going to use the voice message thing on Facebook, and I check in with my, just or kind of thing, just to make it more on a personal level with each person. So that's what I'm doing this month, I mean. And it's been working well.
How many girls how many people do you have in your group?
I have 30 something.
Okay.
In my group.
Are they all pretty active, or are they past customers, or?
Some are past customers, some are active. I have about probably like 10 of those are active and put maybe not post every day, but post every other day or a few times a week.
Okay. Well, that sounds good. Okay, what about you, Rachel? Have you thought of any ideas? Because I know you and I kind of talked, and I said that it's not really, there's not a lot of things we can do, because we can't force our people to post more.
Yeah.
So.
I love the idea of the email and recipes. But I feel like it kind of comes and goes in waves. I feel like right now it's picking back up again. Mm-hmm. I think the big thing is we have 150 people in there. Do we just leave them all in there? Or maybe like you said, at the end of the month, just say, hey, if this group, is what you no longer need. I just feel like there's a lot of people that are they even doing their journey still if they're in the group? Hey, if they're doing the journey, great, stay. But if you aren't doing anything, what's your purpose of being in the group?
Well, that's why I think we need to go and look at who is our friend that we added to the group, because we can see who added who, and writing those names down and contacting them and checking in with them.
Yeah.
And if they aren't doing anything, this would be the time for you to say, well, would you like to think about jumping in at the beginning of October, and I can get you started on a program, or I can get you started on Shakeology again. Yeah. Or if they've never done anything because you thought, or because they were just interested and you added them to it and they've never done anything, then it's probably a really good time to talk to them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I've been doing the past couple months that has been helping? I created this form, and it's just their stats and, you know, kind of, I put my customers who's in the group, I put their name and their information on it and their goals. And so I have them, I create a video in the group and I tell them at the beginning of the month, you know, this group is for people who are, want accountability, who are serious about their fitness. I said, if you want to stay and watch, you know, that's fine. If you, you know, you can leave the group at any time. This is not a no pressure, you know, but if you just want to stay and watch, then that's fine too. And then I have them send me their stats and their before and after pictures. And I tell them, this is one way that you're telling me you're serious, and this is how I can hold you accountable. And so, and I've had great results, and people are losing weight and sending, you know, and putting their, you know, how they're getting into jeans that they've never fit into before. And so it's really that the past couple months has really worked for our group.
That's good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have felt really bad because probably this entire year, I haven't added a whole lot of challengers. I've added more coaches to groups, and which are, to me, it's almost the same as challengers sometimes, but there are less amount of people that, I mean, like I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea to have all those people in the challenge group, because I really love Caleb Thomas's view about anyone that will move, just have them in there.
I love Caleb.
I know.
Follow him on Facebook. I just love his cute little dog, and I just love his energy.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you girls for being on the call. I thought we just needed to kind of talk about this as we're moving into a new season of maybe changing or adding something up, you know, adding something to it, not even changing what we do, because we do such a great job. Let me just ask you to do this. If you've had people in your challenge group, or you've seen people in the challenge group and they haven't been there in a while, even if they're coaches and they're on the team, will you message them? Because, I mean, we might all be messaging them, but I miss them. And I really love seeing their posts and seeing because they keep me accountable. And so, you know, I've sent a couple people messages saying, I miss you in the challenge group. I know you're busy, and I know you're still doing your workout, so show up because I miss you. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind doing that, I would love it. I'm sure you're missing them too.
Yes.
All right, girls. Well, thank you for being on the call, and thank you for letting me do it outside so I could get some sunshine. Sunshine. All right, you girls have a good day.
Okay, bye. Thank you.